like confetti in a windstorm.
Hello and welcome back to Season 2 of Story to Screen. We have missed you, our creative types, our lovers of the arts. I'm your host, Prana Songbird, and this season we have a brand new format for you. We've got another host coming on board, the Gemini mind, Mark Allen Lanoue. And today he's going to be interviewing the queen of martial arts, Cynthia Rothrock. Woo! This is going to be amazing, you guys. Amazing season. I'm not going to give all the details away just yet. Without further ado, the Gemini mind, Mark Allen Lanoue. Take it away.
Now, I have an awesome guest on here today, also known as the Queen of Martial Arts. So Cynthia Rothrock is an American martial artist and actress renowned for her groundbreaking contributions to action cinema, particularly in the 1980s and 1990s. She earned black belts in multiple disciplines, including Tang Soo Do, Taekwondo, and Eagle Claw Kung Fu. Rothrock's martial arts prowess quickly caught the attention of international filmmakers. In 2016, she was inducted into the International Sports Hall of Fame by Arnold Schwarzenegger. In March 2024, Black Belt magazine named Rothrock in its list of the most influential women martial artists on the planet. So that's pretty awesome. And with no further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Cynthia Rothrock, the Queen of Martial Arts. How you doing, Cynthia?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Living the dream. At least that's what they tell me anyway. So we'll start off by saying, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced as a woman breaking into a traditionally male-dominated martial arts and film industry?
Well, I was kind of used to it because I went through that through my martial arts training. Because when I started back in the late 70s, there weren't that many women involved. And I had to compete against the man. I was the first woman to be on the cover of Karate Illustrated magazine. So I've already broke a lot of barriers for women in the martial art world. So now it comes into filming. And I was very lucky because Corey Yoon directed my first film, which was Yes, Madam, with Michelle Yeoh. And he had the, what would you call it? I guess the future of seeing women in film, which nobody really saw at that time, was playing leads. At that time, it was mostly the woman was the damsel in distress. The man had to come and save her. But he took the chance of having two women action leads doing all the fighting. So it wasn't until after I came back to the United States then I found out, oh, the U.S. market is a little bit different. They still, I came back and I did martial law and I still fought, but in the end, the guy still had to come to save the woman. So I kind of, went through a little bit of that. With China, O'Brien broke some barriers. Again, now we're going into the U.S. market, yet you can have a woman, a lead as an action star. And then it opened the doors for like Lady Dragon and, some of the other movies that I've done. But if you look at it, it's still, the industry is still more male dominant with action stars. There's not that many women action stars, like real action stars that know martial arts and have been through training their whole lifetime. So again, even today, it's still breaking barriers to some extent.
Sure, but you actually covered a question that I was going to come up with, because I've traveled a lot internationally too, and I was about to ask you, is there a differential between that cultural part of it where you're going from one place to another, because that seems to be the case in other areas as well. But I see what you're saying about the U.S. market for sure. So throughout your career, how have you managed to stay motivated and continue past pushing boundaries in your craft?
I think that's just my personality. I always strive to do the best. And I've never looked at it, coming in with martial arts and training with the men, that they actually became my peers. And I never really saw the difference, whether you're a man or a woman, nobody's inferior. It's just technique and so I just always keep that attitude no matter what I'm doing, whether it's writing, producing, acting, doing adventure. I just always have, I think, instilled in me that you work hard to get success, and you just do your homework and put in the best you can. And I think a lot of times some people don't realize what the best is they can do. They do so much, and then they go, yeah, I've done my best, but it's really a lot of hard work. It's a lot of homework. It's a lot of belief in yourself, belief in other people, to keep that motivation going.
Yeah, that I was going to bring that up with you about the form, because a lot of people don't put a lot, just the regular person that's watching stuff don't think much about the form, but the form is really important connection to the fighting, in a lot of the competitions. So when I saw that you had won so many times in form, I was very impressed by that, actually. So
Yeah,
um,
well, I think, for people that don't know what forms competition is, it's kind of like, I always make it similar to rhythmic gymnastics, or, just a gymnastic floor routine. But the difference is that you're doing movement, and you're actually, each move means something. You're fighting an opponent. So actually, it was a good transition for me to get into acting, because all my life I was competing and pretending I was fighting someone. So in a way, it was a big acting role, to be undefeated for 5 years. I had to bring more to it than just doing good movement. You have to bring, I call it the warrior spirit. So if you're watching me do movement, you actually can see the people attacking me in your mind. It's not like I just look like I'm doing a pretty powerful dance, So that actually prepared me to do film, and I think form is a very important part of martial arts today. A lot of, you don't see it in some of the schools, but I'm definitely a big advocate to it, because I think it helps whatever you're going to do with your martial arts, whether you're fighting or you're learning self-defense. It's a big part of tradition.
Right, and that choreographic part of it, I'm sure, evolved over time. You can see that's a lot better in the movies now than maybe in the past as well. So I think that's really cool, actually. So, what legacy do you hope to leave behind, both in martial arts and in film?
Well, I guess, if you're combining them both together, I would say that I brought a lot of people into studying martial arts. I've had so many people say, whether watching you in competition or training under you or seeing one of your films got me involved to study martial arts, because it's something I'm a big advocate of, is that everybody should learn self-defense, because you never know when you might need to protect yourself or a loved one. And there's nothing more important than that. But at the same time, you're getting your mind and your body in great condition. So it's just a win-win. You're learning all this in one sport to do. So, I highly, highly recommend everybody, to study some sort of martial arts. And a lot of people say, oh, I'm too old. The age has nothing to do with it. You work with what you can do and what your physical abilities are.
Yeah, my sensei used to say your best offense is actually your defense.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was something I took with me out of it as well. So
Yeah, and a
um,
lot about self-defense too. That is so true, but also is being aware of your situation. That would could prevent some kind of tragedy from happening. Is that you're always aware of your surroundings. That's one of the things that I learned and stuck with me even to this day.
try. So did you meld some of your, because there's three styles that were mentioned obviously in the early part that I read on your background. Did you kind of meld all of those into your style, or do you separate them out, or because it really depends on the person as to how they approach that.
Yeah, when I'm teaching, I teach it different ways. Like if someone just wants to learn Tung Sido, then I would teach that. If someone wants to learn Shaolin Kung Fu, I will teach that. If not, I kind of, I love all martial arts styles. There's things in each style that I like and something I don't like. I go, well, that's not a good technique for me to do on the street. So maybe I wouldn't teach that. So I kind of like when I'm doing film, I kind of put a collaboration of all the moves together, whatever works best. And sometimes I look as when I'm teaching someone, I look at their body type, and I could tell which kind of style would work best for them. So I always tell people when they say, hey, what's the best martial art for me to study? Go out and look at the different schools. First of all, look at the discipline of the class. And secondly, look at the movement and say, oh, I think I could do that. I feel comfortable doing that because maybe someone, that's short and maybe not long legs and tight might not want to do a high kicking style. You know, they might
Right.
want to do more with stances and power. So it's kind of it's a personal thing, you know, or take a couple introductory courses and try a couple different styles and see which is the best. But yeah, I kind of when I'm teaching my seminars, I kind of take the best of the best out of 5 styles that I've studied extensively.
That's awesome. So we're going to take a moment for a commercial break, and then we'll come back and talk a bit more with the queen of martial arts, Cynthia Rothrock. And we want to hear more about, she's got a lot of stuff going on right now, so we want to hear about that. Stay tuned.
Hey there, change makers. Imagine a world where every small act creates a ripple of impact. At wearestarfish.org, we're turning dreams of a better tomorrow into reality. Join our global community of starfish where every person like you is a catalyst for positive change. Whether it's empowering education, environmental stewardship, or supporting local communities, we believe in the power of every individual to make a difference. Visit wearestarfish.org today and discover how you can be a part of the wave of change. Wearestarfish.org, because each one matters.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We're back here with Cynthia Rothrock, the queen of martial arts. And can you share a moment during your career that profoundly changed your perspective on success and perseverance?
Yeah, I'd say it starts back when I was a white belt in martial arts. You know, when I first was introduced to it, I thought, wow, that's pretty cool, learning how to defend yourself. And I liked the uniform. And then when I went to class, it was a different story. It was hard work. It was a lot of push-ups. It was a lot of discipline, you know. My feet had blisters all over them. I almost broke my foot trying to break a board. You know, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And I wanted to quit. My mom said, you know, you signed up for 4 months. You got to continue with the 4 months. Otherwise, I would have quit. You know, I said, this isn't for me. So one day I was studying about 3 months and we were testing for our first stripe. And our instructor gave a speech saying how losers are quitters. You know, that, you know, if you want to be a winner, you can't quit. And it's all about your attitude. If you have a bad attitude in life, you know, you're going to be a loser. And this kind of sunk really deep with me because I thought, you know, yeah, you know, I don't practice. I have a bad attitude. I think I need to change this. So I started changing it. There was this particular move I couldn't get. I started practicing it and then boom, I got it, you know, and wow, ooh, I worked on my stretching. I got into the split and things started changing for me. My whole attitude changed. And it's something then that it clicked in my mind that, you know, life isn't easy. It's hard. You have to work at it, but you have to have a positive attitude. If you go in with a negative attitude, and this goes for anything, not just martial arts, you're going to fail. But if you go in with a positive attitude and you take those failures and you say, how can I overcome that? You know, that's the biggest lesson I've learned from martial arts is not being a quitter and to always do the best I can and not to accept failure. Like, yeah, okay, if this thing failed, well, how do I continue to do it and not make a failure in life? So I think, you know, I've been studying martial arts for 50 years, you know, and that's still the number one thing in my mind that has changed my lifestyle just from that one little speech that my instructor gave.
Sure. So what made you start? Did you start on your own out of curiosity, or did somebody else put you in it and then you kind of made your way through that? Like somebody said, oh, we need to put you in there just so you can defend yourself or whatever. Or what was the initial spark that made you want to go and get into martial arts? And what was your first style that you studied? Because you do have other styles, but I'm sure you started with one particular one.
Yeah, well, my first one was Tung Sudo. It was the only karate school in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And what so happened is my friends' parents were studying it, and I would watch them practice, and I was like, wow, I want to learn that. And I was always a kind of out-of-the-box person. Even today I am. I like to take the path that's less traveled. Anything that's unique or different, I want to do that. And learning how to defend yourself with your hands and feet was such a great concept to me. So that's what I wanted to do. So it was myself. My mom had no idea what karate or martial arts was, but she was used to me saying, hey, you know, I want to try this. I want to try dance. I want to try baton lessons. I want to do organ lessons. I want to do guitar lessons. You know, I always wanted to do something. And she was a big supporter of mine, you know. So when I said I wanted to do it, yes, she said, sure. Okay, let's go and I'll enroll you into it.
So the martial arts stuck, but the guitar lessons not so much, right?
Well, I was young and I
Yeah.
liked it, but I tell you what, I know you're a musician, and even today I was like, oh, why didn't I keep up with it? But when you're first learning, and I was like a young girl, I had these big calluses and blisters all over my fingers, and I couldn't even hit the strings anymore. They were so blistered. So then I went into, oh, well, piano, and I really liked the piano, but then I moved to California. I didn't have a piano to practice. So, I think in another life, I really, probably would have been a musician because I like it. I like it so much, the music.
Sure. Yeah, that's a big part of it. You definitely get the calluses. Sometimes if you practice enough, you even get a little bleeding going on. So yeah, it's
See, that's the thing. That was before I started martial arts, so I was like giving up on it because this is hard. This is hard. But if I would have had that champion attitude, who knows? I would have been playing the guitar really well today. But it's things like that taught me, not to give up. I remember like doing a hip hop class, and it was foreign to me. It was like, I know martial arts, I don't know how to hip hop. But it was like, well, I don't care how I look. I could look silly, whatever. I'm just going to keep doing this till I get it down.
well, now you got diving and hot yoga and all the other kind of stuff, traveling all over the place to all these award shows and stuff. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm keeping up with it. So yeah, I see what's going on. So I know also you're working on
Hello
Black.
and welcome
Well,
back.
you've got the Black
to
Creek
season
movie
2 of
out,
Story to
and I do
Screen.
want to talk
We
to
have
you
missed
some
you, our
about
creative
that as
types,
well.
our lovers
So we'll
of the
probably
arts.
take another
I'm your
commercial
host,
break
Prana
here,
Songbird,
and
and this
we also
season we have
want
a
to
brand new
let's
format
first
for
start
you.
by
We've
before we
got
take the
another
break.
host
Let's
coming
talk
on
about
board, the
the
Gemini
movie
Mime,
itself.
Mark Allen
So
Cordew.
can you
And today
share
he's
with
going to
some,
be
how
interviewing
did you
the queen of martial
get into
arts,
this Western action film
Cynthia
Black Creek, and
Rothrock.
how did it come
Woo!
about?
This is
Well,
going to be
actually,
amazing, you
my
guys.
partner, Robert
Amazing season.
Clancy, said
I'm
you
not
should be
going to give
doing
all
your
the
own
details
movie.
away
And I
just
was
yet.
like, yeah, I
Without
should, but
further ado,
that's a lot of
the
work. He goes,
Gemini
well, let's
Mime,
do it.
Mark
And
Allen
he
Cordew.
said, well, let's think
Take
of
it away.
the idea. What's the idea? And I'd say, okay, I want to do a Western. And he's like, a Western? Why do you want to do a Western? And I was like, because I love Westerns. When I was young, I looked up to Annie Oakley. She was one of the few powerful women that I knew as a young girl. And I loved Yellowstone. I really, really loved that series. I thought it was brilliant. So I said, it goes, okay, a Western. And what's the idea, the revenge, what's going to happen? So we did the notes, we wrote the script, and we raised the money through crowd fundraising. Again, thank you to all my supporters and backers, for doing that movie. And, we did it. We were very successful, and, like when I say about that believing in yourself, when I was going to do the Kickstarter, a lot of my male peers said, oh, don't do it because so-and-so is a big star and he couldn't raise the money. And, why do you think you could, and they started scaring me. And then I just said, I have faith in this and I'm going to do it. And I went for it. We became the second highest funded action picture in the history of Kickstarter. Again, the lesson is, do follow your dreams and keep going, keep doing it. So that's how Black Creek came about. And it's such a wonderful film because we have so many backers in the film, that did a fabulous job. And, the movie is special. We have Richard Norton, who passed away this year. It was his last movie. And, he does a phenomenal, we've done so many movies together. We were known as the Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers of martial arts. So it's such a blessing that his last film was Black Creek. And for a little film, we're up there competing with the big Hollywood pictures, and now it's streaming on most all platforms, and just recently is on Tubi right now, so people can watch it.
Yeah, I was watching. It seems that there's a lot of people that you had that were great ambassadors to get that, and you did a great job too. I thought the Kickstarter marketing was really, really good. So kudos to you. And I think that goes back to the perseverance, right? It goes back to that same thing. You don't want to be called a loser, right? You don't want to lose on that one. So you want to take it to the finish line. So I completely understand. So we'll take a commercial break, and we're also going to show the trailer for Black Creek so that others can become acquainted with what you've done and what you've. I know you're still moving on to other things, but we'll talk about that too in a little bit.
Okay.
So stay tuned.
Hey there, changemakers. Imagine a world where every small act creates a ripple of impact. At wearestarfish.org, we're turning dreams of a better tomorrow into reality. Join our global community of starfish where every person like you is a catalyst for positive change. Whether it's empowering education, environmental stewardship, or supporting local communities, we believe in the power of every individual to make a difference. Visit wearestarfish.org today and discover how you can be a part of the wave of change. Wearestarfish.org, because each one matters.
Where's my brother?
He's dead. I'm real sorry about what happened to your kin.
I found my family murdered.
You don't want to mess with Sinclair. He's powerful. Got an army.
What the hell are you doing on my land?
Your land.
Kills anyone gets in his way.
You have much to learn. Your spirit is strong, but your body needs time to heal.
Don't go taking any big chances that get you put in a grave.
The only one that's going to be put in a grave is Sinclair.
I'm gonna enjoy ripping you apart with my own bare hands.
Let's fight.
Back here with Cynthia Rothrock, the queen of martial arts, and we're going to talk a bit more about Black Creek, because there's also something in here that Cynthia was alluding to how important this is, including the role that she had in it. So what does the role of Rose Jennings in Black Creek represent to you personally, and what's the message you want people to take away, the audiences to take away from this story and about her in particular?
Well, I think the Rose Jennings character is very tough and very protective of her family, and she would go through anything in order to defend them or find the people that has done harm to them. And I think that's what women today are striving to do, is be as empowered as they can, you know. And even the other women in Black Creek, you know, I wanted them to be very strong and powerful and make a statement, you know. And you know, there's a lot of situations in there, you know, when you're watching the movie, that when we had the screening, women get up and start cheering for certain parts, you know, because she just doesn't take any bull from anybody, you know, and is very focused on what her goal is.
Sure. Well, I've had some opponents in sparring that females that whipped my butt several times. So it's so I completely understand. That's awesome. So tell us more about, you know, what's going on with Black Creek. What are the next steps? You know, how is it doing? Where can they find it? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, right now, Black Creek, it's streaming on Tubi. It just started yesterday, and it's also on Amazon Prime. It's on Apple TV and also Fandango. We'll probably be having a video release coming toward the end of this month or next month. And we were contacted by one of the biggest film festivals in Australia. So we got nominated for 12 different categories. So we're all excited about that, because it was something that we weren't thinking about doing. So they kind of came to us, you know. So I'm excited. I'm very proud of everybody that was nominated for that film. So we have that going on. And we are also have the script finished for Black Creek 2. There will definitely be a second part, and hopefully in the next month or two we could start pre-production to film in 2026 Black Creek 2.
That's very cool. I know that it was a tedious process as well, because you not only had to deal with the filming and getting everybody in who coming in that was going to be in the film, and then you had to deal with the film scoring and all the music. Being a musician, I know that there was a lot behind the music you probably had to deal with as well, and I know you had some people behind the scenes that helped as well, but I'm sure there'll be some rockin' songs in Black Creek too as well. So
We were kind of blessed. I know we were trying to get that song, collaborate to put in there, but it's really like music rights are very complicated when you're
yeah,
doing a movie. But
yeah.
we were blessed. James Marlowe with the Marlowe Pignetti Film Company has been a big supporter. Actually, he's slated to do Black Creek 2 as a director, so we're excited about that. And our team, Mark Shear and Benji Gunther, did a phenomenal job, and also Jim Peterick
Mhm.
wrote our ending scene. So that last song when Rose is walking out into the sunset is She Scares Me was written by Jim Peterick, who was a co-writer of Eye of the Tiger. So we're going to see some more music from him in Black Creek 2. And I mean, it's just funny because I was seeing an interview that Jim did, and they were like, Jim, so you're getting involved in some musical scores? He goes, yeah, I did a movie called Rocky, because he did Eye of the Tiger, and he goes, and Black Creek with Cynthia Rothrock. And I was like, oh, that's insane, to be in that same category as Rocky, so we were blessed, and just looking forward to Black Creek 2, having more days of shooting, a little bit bigger budget. We only had a 14-day shoot schedule for Black Creek 2, which is insane to pull off a 2-hour movie. So everything was so fast, but we've learned a lot, and next one is going to be bigger and better. So we're really, really excited about Black Creek 2.
That's really awesome. Yeah, they're great people. I really like them a lot. So, what projects or goals are you most excited about in the future, and how do they reflect your growth as an artist?
Well, I'm always looking for something new to do. I have a new book coming out pretty soon about my adventures of shooting in Hong Kong. So that should be out maybe another month or so. Also, I am working with Richard Stanley, the amazing, amazing director, sent me a script. He wrote a part in for me, and I'm so excited to work with him, and it goes into the horror genre, which is my favorite actually movie genre to do. So hopefully we'll shoot that next year. So that's in the making. And I really, really enjoy doing my own films. I love the production part of it. I love being in control of the editing, of how everybody looks, of the scenes, to make sure there's no fight misses, because that's one of the things when I watch action movies, I'm always like, oh no, I don't like that. Their foot is wrong. They're going to break their foot. That was a miss. I'm so critical of the action. So I like taking control, because even when I look back at some of my other movies, I go I have no control over that. And I'm like, oh, this was terrible. Why did they use that shot? They had a better shot. You know what I mean? So I really hope to, in the future, be pulling out a lot more films with my production company and Robert Clancy.
Awesome. So that one that you're going to be doing, which is more on the horror genre. So are you going to So are they going to have you more in makeup, or is it what kind of, are you going to be playing a specific character in the horror genre?
I'm not one of the evil persons in it. Steel donkeys, and if you Google that, you'll find out what a steel donkey is. So it kind of revolves about that. But what Richard did is he kind of actually took me as myself and put me in a character where I'm like an ex-martial art champion, right? That opened up, you'll love this one, opened up a heavy metal rock club where all the bands are. And that's what I do. And somehow the evil kind of gets creeped involved into this there. And I end up like fighting more of the evil makeup monster characters than myself. So I really love it. I'm so excited about it because, like I said, that kind of genre is like what I really watch a lot.
Right. That's so awesome. So I do have people also ask me, weren't you modeled after, wasn't one of the characters in Mortal Kombat, the game, modeled after you?
Yeah, it was Sonya Blade. Actually,
Sonya Blade, yeah.
Before they were doing that, the producer called me in. And at that time, I was really at the high of my career, and he didn't want to pay. So he was like, well, let's just get someone that's unknown, and we'll take her likeness, and we'll take that kick that she created, the scorpion kick, Rothrock sting, and we'll put that in there. And people could think it's her, but then we don't have to pay them. So that's kind of a little sneaky thing that happened and went on. But yeah, if you look at Wikipedia, they say Cynthia Rothrock, Sonia Blade, and a lot of Sonia Blade. Well, not really, but
So it's like the AI we have now, right? It's not real. That's not really me singing, but it sure does sound like me. So I completely understand. So we'll take another moment for another closing break from our sponsor and our affiliate. So just stay tuned, and we're gonna finish off here with some more info from Cynthia Rothrock, the Queen of Martial Arts.
Switching hotels, changing flights, plans move fast, day or night. No pen, no paper, no app to load. Just scan the tag, your info shows. Update quick, anytime, right from your phone, safe online. One little tag that does it all, ready when adventure calls. Scan and go, travel smart today. My travel tag leads the way. Your bag's connected, clear and true. Peace of mind is traveling with you. Near or far, where life takes you. One simple scan is all you do. Smart, secure, and modern too. My travel tag is made for you. Eco-friendly, built to last. Laser etched for futures fast. School trips, business, family fun. One smart tag for everyone. My travel tag. Scan it once and you're good to go.
Travelers, this is Mark Allen Lanoue, the Gemini Mind. Come take a journey with me through this place we call life by picking up a copy of my book, Reality Was Once the Tapestry of the Dreamer. Available on Barnes & Noble and Amazon online. You can find the links also on my website, markallenlanoue.com. Chock full of stories about organized crime, the paranormal, my music career, NASA, and more. So go pick up your copy, and you all rock. Indeed.
Hey there, changemakers. Imagine a world where every small act creates a ripple of impact. At wearestarfish.org, we're turning dreams of a better tomorrow into reality. Join our global community of starfish where every person like you is a catalyst for positive change. Whether it's empowering education, environmental stewardship, or supporting local communities, we believe in the power of every individual to make a difference. Visit wearestarfish.org today and discover how you can be a part of the wave of change. Wearestarfish.org, because each one matters.
Okay, everybody, back here with Cynthia Rothrock, the Queen of Martial Arts. So besides all of this stuff, the movies and all that, and what we were talking about where you like to try different things, I noticed that you also do a lot of scuba diving all over the world. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, it's something I always wanted to do because I love nature. I love animals. I love marine life. And when COVID happened, I was kind of going crazy because, I'm not the kind of person that sits in my house, and I found that scuba diving is something available that you could do while COVID was happening. So I started, absolutely loved it. It's become a passion. And now my goal is to scuba dive in all these places all over the world. And, I'm excited because this year, just in this year, I'm going to Cozumel to dive, and then Turks and Caicos, Fiji, and Indonesia in Raja Ampat. So these are like some of the best diving destinations in the world, but it's kind of my relaxation. It's kind of like when I'm down under the water and I'm seeing like all these things that you never would believe exist until you're down there and see this wonderful creation of marine life that we really know not much about. We don't get to see, so it puts me in a whole different world and almost like in a meditative position that, wow, I'm down here amongst all these creatures, breathing through a regulator. It's kind, it's like something different, unique that, I have really, put a passion to it. So.
Sure. Are you going like into the caves as well, like the underwater caves and stuff?
Yeah, I've cave diving, I've done cenote diving, wreck diving. I'm not a technical diver. I keep it at recreational, and that's where I want to keep it at because I don't need to go below 132 feet. But I like it, and it's could be scary. A lot of people knew I was doing scuba diving. They try it, and they took a couple of classes. Now this isn't for me because it's something that you have to overcome. Like same thing, like when I first got in the pool and I put the regulator and I'm only like 6 feet underwater, I'm almost panicking. Like, oh my God, I'm breathing out of this, and like easily I could have got up, but I still had that little panic. And you just gotta relax and, listen to the instructions and know your equipment and, know your safety with it, because it could be a dangerous sport if you mostly panic or you have equipment failure, so it's kind of a little bit edgy as well. I like adrenaline things and adventure. So I think it's a good fit for me, is scuba diving.
Sure. Well, I don't know when your birthday is, but you sure do sound a lot like a Gemini.
Actually, my daughter's a Gemini. I'm a
Oh,
Pisces.
really?
I'm a Pisces, so it's warm.
Pisces. Okay, gotcha. So, is there anything else that you would like the listeners to know about, like where to find you? I know you can Google you, and I'm sure they can find you just fine. But is there anywhere in particular or anything you'd like them to know besides what we've already talked about on here?
Yeah, I'm very strong on Facebook, and there's a lot of, I would say there's hundreds of fake profiles that are mine. So I got the verified check, right, which is the little check right after your name. And these scammers come up and put the check in front of the name. They put it as a check. So the only one that's me is Cynthia Rothrock with the little verified check behind. And I tried to answer as many people as I can. I very accessible through there. I put all the dates where my appearances are going to be, what's happening, any information. I also have a subscriber page. Is it a little more personal on Facebook? And I'm on Instagram, but I don't do that as much as Facebook. And I have a YouTube channel, which is Cynthia Rothrock channel. But so you can contact me there. I have a martial art association where people actually can get a lot of training and information from me. So, all that information is on my website, which is CynthiaRothrockOfficial.com. So there's a lot of ways to get in touch with me. Just make sure it's the real Cynthia Rothrock, not a scammer.
And they may want to come around and keep up with you anyway, because you also offer up things every now and then with your autograph on them and some of the things for the Black Creek movie and things like that. So they can.
Yeah, tomorrow I'm off to Cologne, Germany.
Oh boy, that sounds exciting.
Yeah.
I miss traveling. I used to do a lot of it back in the day. So I'm sure it's exciting to get around.
Well, I just came back from Prague, so I'm still not over that jet lag. And now
I want to thank you for coming on, Cynthia. It was awesome having you come on here and tell us all about what's going on and about some of your past endeavors and all the really cool awards and accolades. So truly appreciate you coming on.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome. So everybody stay tuned. We'll be having some more of these, the Gemini Mind with Story to Screen, Starfish, and you all rock. Indeed.
Thank you so much to our guest today, Cynthia Rothrock, the queen of martial arts and a super cool lady. Thank you to all of you who joined us today on Story to Screen, where all we do benefits wearestarfish.org, where each one matters. Come back next week where the Gemini Mind, Mark Allen Lanoue, will be interviewing Mark Berry. See you next time, guys.